The sound of music. Part 1. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. Isn't it surprising? Without listening to sound, how anyone can hear it? But it is so what written in this chapter that there is a girl named Evelyn Glennie and she is able to hear it. She can't listen, she is deaf, but she can hear it through the body sensations. She can hear the sound, and it's a miracle. So, before we start the reading, we go through the text given here. God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any one of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. So, in this chapter, we are going to talk about a girl who cannot hear but she feels music and she can express it so beautifully. So, this is an extraordinary thing which has been given by God to her. So, we will read the account of a person who fought against a physical disability and made her life a success story. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. Jostle means push roughly, means there were a crowd and the people were at the platform waiting for the train. A slight girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. Means the girl cannot hear, but she can feel the vibrations of the approaching train as they are feeling the sensations to her body. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London. So means she was going to the Royal Academy of Music in London when she was 17 years old, and she was at the platform at the rush where there was a lot of crowd, and she cannot hear but she can feel the sensation of approaching train, and she was also having a excitement of her first day of the Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. Deaf, that a person who cannot hear. Daunting here means frightening. Was frightened, afraid, but she was also having excitement of the first day of the college, that was of the Royal Academy of Music in London. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong. When the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano, they called her name and she didn't move. At that time, her mother noticed that she was not able to hear properly. She was getting weakened in listening. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Isabel Glennie, the mother of Evelyn Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness. Conceal means to hide. She was hiding that she can't hear, but it was being noticed when people used to call her. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness. As I told, conceal, she was hiding from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist for the checkup. So at the age of 11, Evelyn Glennie's mother noticed that she was having deafness problem, that she was having problem in hearing. So she suggested her parents to consult with a specialist. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired. Impaired means weakened as a result of gradual nerve damage, that is, some nerve damage in the spinal cord. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids. Aids means the equipments which help in listening, and sent to a school for the deaf. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined. She was strong. She was having willpower to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music, means to continue learning music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone. Xylophone is a musical instrument with a row of wooden bars of different lengths, just like a flute, and different sounds at different notes are produced from it, and that can be sensed by a deaf person. It's a miracle. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential, her strength, her power, her ability. He began by tuning two large drums of different notes. "Don't listen through your ears," he would say. "Try to sense it some other way," says Evelyn. "Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up, from the upper portion of the waist, and the lower one from the lower waist down." Forbes repeated the exercise, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. "I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer determination and hard work." Determination means the dedication that you have towards your work, and hard work. She never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. Solo performances means the single. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. Means she was not feeling any proud for that. And she was thinking she has to do a lot more she has to do. If you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. Yeah, you will surely get there. If you work hard, you are working hard, and you know where you are going, you know the destination, you will surely get there. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. Hectic means very busy schedule. Now she is having a very busy schedule. You can think that a person who is deaf, who cannot hear, and now she has become a heroic person. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. "Man with bushy beards, give me trouble." She laughed. Means without hearing, how can she understand the words? She can converse with the people, and she can play music so beautifully. And she was doing all these things very effortlessly at the age of 16. Intriguing means fascinating and curious. So she was curious to talk with people. She was curious to know about new people, new things, new musical instruments, and how to play them, how to sense the music. It is not just watching the lips, it's the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt, Lilt is a way of speaking, and flawlessly means without making a mistake or a fault. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up to the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonances, the resistance, the opposing force flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. So this is the way how she feels the music, by the vibrations touching her body, the fingertip, the air that passes through the ears. So by these vibrations, the Evelyn feels the sound. She hears. So it's not that simply lips moving, it's the whole face watching. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. Delights means makes them happy by playing the beautiful music. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. Delights means makes them happy by listening the beautiful music, which she can't hear, but she can only feel that. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award, says master percussionist James Blades. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any one of us. That's why she expresses music so beautifully. Because what she feels, we hear. And there's a big difference between feeling and hearing. So, what she feels, she expresses. So, that is the most beautiful form of the music. Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. Workaholic means a person who finds difficult to stop working, means he is addicted to working. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musicians, but the rewards are enormous. Enormous means many and very big, very huge. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for the Deaf Children says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. It is our determination and hard work that can make us reach our destination, wherever it is and whatever it is. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. She has been an inspiration to millions of people. So her inspiration ignites the fire in those people, and they says, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. Means, as I told, she has been an inspiration for millions of people who think that they are handicapped and they can't do anything big. So this was the story of Evelyn Glennie, who was deaf. She was unable to hear, but she can feel the vibrations of the music. And likewise, she can express the music so beautifully at the age of 16. And at the age of 17, she got admitted in Royal Academy of London of Music. So it was a very big thing for a deaf girl who cannot hear, and she got admission in such a big academy of London. So it was a big achievement for her. And we read about her determination, and she does all the talking effortlessly and flawlessly without making any mistakes also. So really she is an inspiration for all the people who think like that, and if they can do that, then surely we can do much better. If we think, if we have a determination and hard work towards our destiny.